man. Snaps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff. But
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon, we can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Rashad Milligan. If you are new to the channel, this is the road to 5K subs. We're just going to do a little basketball brief starting off before we get into the rest of the video. A lot of important topics that I want to speak about tonight. So, yeah, I'm not, we going to get right into it for real. All right. The biggest game of the night, obviously postponed from yesterday. It was supposed to be on Thursday night, kind of have its own time to shine. LSU versus South Carolina, a top 5 matchup. Number 5 LSU versus number 2 South Carolina. And South Carolina just did what South Carolina has done all season long, which was kind of run away with the victory. Game was pretty close in the first 2-3 quarters. And then the fourth quarter, South Carolina just separated itself. Very slow, sluggish, kind of hard-hitting physical game. LSU was getting frustrated at some of the foul calls they weren't getting. And while LSU was getting frustrated and kind of complaining to the refs, South Carolina just kind of kept chipping away. And before you knew it, it was a 12-point game with only a couple minutes left. So, yeah, that's what South Carolina really did. They ran away from everybody. They blew out Texas when they came to South Carolina. They blew out Oklahoma last weekend. And now they beat another top 5 opponent by double digits. And you have to kind of look at it for what it is. Like Terrell said, the only thing that South Carolina has seemed to slow down with this year is not having that elite, huge 5 in the middle of the lineup and stuff like that. And because, you know, when you face another elite big like a Lauren Betts over at UCLA, that's when you see the troubles that they had and they end up getting blown out. So other than that, every other team, they have it locked down. So, yeah, that's what it's looking like so far. Anissa Murrow definitely did her thing, especially in the first half. 15 points, 16 rebounds. She was a beast on the boards. Flage seemed like she was in foul trouble, like I said, but still was frustrated at the lack of calls she was getting. She really struggled her freshman year at South Carolina. That first game, if you guys remember, Angel Reese's first year at LSU a couple years ago, we vlogged it and stuff like that. I don't even know if she scored that trip. And I brought that up with Terrell a couple weeks ago. And you see here, she still only finishes with 13 points, 4 rebounds. Definitely a performance I know she wants to get back. Michaela Williams, 13 points as well. You know, for them to get what they really need, Kaylin Gilbert, 2 points. For them to really get what they need at least 15 points from the core 4, which is Kaylin Gilbert, Flage, Michaela Williams, and Anissa Murrow in these type of big games, these marquee games, top 5 opponent games, and things like that. Someone was like, you know, this is why you schedule a tougher non-conference schedule. And I see what they're saying there. Like, I get it. I hear it. At the same time, I just think it's a very difficult thing to argue when Moki did this and she's won 4 championships. And, you know, the first one at LSU was about as cupcake of a schedule as it can get. The thing is, if you want to get really controversial, I think they kind of had a couple breaks there and they're kind of road in the bracket and stuff like that, especially the largest break of not facing South Carolina in the final. Because as we've seen tonight, South Carolina, if they would have beat Iowa in the semifinal, but if it was a 5th, right? But if they would have beaten Iowa in the semifinal, I think they would have won the national championship. But if it was a 5th, then they plead 5th and it skipped the dip. So let's go to South Carolina now. You see, South Carolina, no one scored 15 points. You know, I was talking about the 15-point thing. Joyce Edwards had 14 points in 18 minutes and 4 rebounds. Sanaya Fagan had 12 and 7. You know, Chloe Kidd 7 and 7, another big game from her. 5 and 5 for Breezy Hall. Raven Johnson, bro, had a huge moment at the end of the first half there. When South Carolina was really starting to get a little edge after only having a 2-point lead at the end of the first quarter. They had a little separation going into halftime, which really carried the momentum through the second half, in my opinion. And that was when Raven was active. active hands on defense. Her Tessa Johnson had a really good game as well. And they had that back-to-back steals and layups for Raven Johnson. And, it was just moments like that really kind of made the game what it was. A lot of people talk crazy and saucy and everything like that about Raven Johnson, but in the big game, she always shows up. She always has an impact, and she always makes her name known and case known in those big marquee primetime games. So just once again, Raven Johnson doing more of the same here tonight. And, you can't see it on the stat sheet 5-3-3, but she made some huge plays. Tessa Johnson had an amazing game. Like I said, you can't see it on the stat sheet, only 9-3-3, but she had a really good game. Pow Pow is always doing Pow Pow things. 6-4-2. Very solid performance from her. Just an overall good team effort. As cliche as that is, but yeah. Full Valley tried to get loose a couple times, was unable to really kind of do what she wanted to, unleash and stuff like that. Just missed and got stopped a couple times. But that is that game, the first game of the night. So, like I said, if you missed what I had to say, it looks like more South Carolina that we've seen of the same this season. The only thing that's tripped them up, like Terrell, a.k.a. Ashley Knuckles, pointed out, has been elite bigs because they aren't the tallest people just down low. Vegan isn't necessarily the tallest person. And even if she was, respectfully, she's a great starter, young player, Atlanta's own, of course, but she's not a first team All-American like a Aaliyah Boston, like a Asia Wilson, like a Camila Cardoso could make a run for, first team All-American when she was in college. So, it's just different. And yeah. An elite big, a dominant big like Lauren Betts, who's probably the best big in the nation right now, right? So there's that. So that was the first game.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
We can't ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.